My parents emptied my bank account on my 30th birthday, and they thought I'd cry. They didn't know the $2.3 million they stole was the trap I set for them. And when I saw their signatures on the withdrawal slip, my hands didn't shake. I smiled. Because that money wasn't just savings, it was a test they failed in seconds. Before I continue, like this story, subscribe, and share it to support more stories like this. Now, let's continue. I'm Evelyn, the daughter my parents always treated like a backup plan. My brother Lucas was their golden child, the one who got everything, the new car, the family investments, the praise. Me? I was the quiet worker, the girl who stayed up late freelancing, stacking money while everyone else slept, building something no one knew about. But on my 30th birthday, the day I planned to reveal my biggest surprise, I got a call that almost felt scripted. The bank said, "Ma'am, your parents came in this morning with your power of attorney document. They withdrew everything." I froze, not because I was shocked, they had done worse things before, but because I finally had proof, real legal proof of their greed. When I rushed home, the house was decorated like a cheap birthday setup: balloons, cake, fake smiles. My mom stepped forward with this proud grin and said, "Happy birthday, sweetheart. We moved your money to a safer place. You're welcome." My dad nodded like he had done me a favor. "Don't worry, we know how to handle real money better than you." Lucas smirked in the back, arms crossed like he had just won something. I didn't blink. I didn't speak. I just watched them celebrating, while my stolen $2.3 million sat in their account, exactly where I wanted it. Because what they didn't know was that every dollar, every transfer, every login, every signature was being recorded. And tonight, at the birthday dinner they planned to celebrate me, I was about to expose everything in front of the entire family. But before I walked into that dinner, something happened that changed the plan completely and made the trap even more deadly. When I walked into the restaurant, every pair of eyes turned to me like I was the ungrateful daughter who owed them something. My mom waved her hand dramatically. "There she is, our birthday girl. Don't be mad about the money, Evelyn. We only did what was best for you." Like stealing $2.3 million was a family favor. I forced a smile and sat down, even though my heart pounded so hard I could hear it. I kept replaying the recording on my phone, the one where my parents agreed to move her funds before she does something stupid with it. I was ready to destroy them with it, until I saw something that made my stomach twist. Lucas stood up to give a toast, holding a fancy envelope like he was the star of the night. He tapped his glass. "I want everyone to know Evelyn wouldn't have had that money without us. We raised her. We deserve a share." The audacity almost made me laugh. Then he opened the envelope and pulled out a printed screenshot of my bank balance. $0, 0 cents. Everyone gasped like I was irresponsible rather than robbed. My aunt whispered loud enough for the whole table to hear. "See, this is why you don't give young girls too much money." I felt my jaw tighten. They still thought they were smarter than me. They still thought they controlled me. Then my dad leaned back and said the line that pushed everything over the edge. "You should thank us, Evelyn. If we hadn't taken over, you would have lost all that money anyway." That's when I placed my phone on the table, screen down. My dad noticed. "What's that?" I smiled. "Something you'll want to hear later." But just as I was about to expose them, my phone buzzed. A message popped up on the screen, a message that wasn't supposed to exist. It said, "Evelyn, the escrow account was breached. Someone tried to move the other funds. Call me now." My breath caught. Someone was trying to steal the rest of my hidden fortune.
And that's when I realized the trap I set for my parents had triggered something much bigger. Someone else was inside my system. My hands went cold as I stared at that message. No one, Not my parents, not Lucas, not even my closest friends knew about the escrow account. So who was trying to break in? And how did they even know it existed? Lucas snatched my phone like he owned it. "What's this? Another secret fund you're hiding?" My mom leaned forward, eyes sharp. "Evelyn, how much more money do you have?" The whole table fell silent. And that's when I realized they weren't shocked. They were curious, too curious, like they already knew something. My heartbeat grew heavier. "Give me my phone," I said. But Lucas held it behind his back. "Not until you tell us what you're hiding." The arrogance in his voice snapped something inside me. They stole $2.3 million, and now they wanted more? I stood up slowly, and everyone stared like I was causing a scene at my own birthday dinner. You all judged me. You called me the weak one, the careless one, the girl with no future. But the truth is, before I could finish, the restaurant door opened, and my former business partner, Mark, walked in. My blood froze. He wasn't invited. He wasn't supposed to even know where I was tonight. But there he stood, calm, confident, and smiling like he owned the entire place. He walked straight towards our table and stopped inches from me. "Evelyn," he said softly, "we need to talk. Now." My dad stepped in. "Who are you?" Mark's eyes didn't leave mine. Her biggest mistake, and the one person who can take everything she built. The whole table gasped. Lucas muttered, "What the hell is he talking about?" I felt my throat tighten. If Mark was here, then he was the one trying to breach my escrow account. He was the one who thought he could steal the rest of my money. He was the real threat. And he wasn't even trying to hide it. Mark leaned closer, lowering his voice so only I could hear. "You thought your parents were the problem, but I told you long ago, Evelyn, you can't trust anyone, not even the people at your own table." His meaning hit me like a punch. He wasn't just talking about my parents. There was someone else in that room working with him, watching me, waiting. And when I turned to look at my family, one face dropped their eyes too quickly. My eyes scanned the table slowly, and one by one, everyone tried to look innocent. But guilt has a way of shaking a person's face. And Lucas was trembling. He avoided my eyes, rubbing his hands together like he was hiding a secret under his skin. Mark noticed it too. He smiled, a slow, knowing smile that told me everything. "Funny how your own blood sells you out," he whispered. I felt something inside me break. "Lucas," I said quietly, "what did you do?" He jumped up from his seat. "You're blaming me again? Typical." He was loud, but not convincing. My mom stood beside him immediately, as if protecting him. My dad glared at me. "Stop accusing your brother. He would never betray you." Mark laughed. "Oh, he already did. Twice." The room froze. My breath caught as Mark continued. "Evelyn, the first breach into your escrow account happened 3 weeks ago." He tapped Lucas's shoulder. "Guess who gave me the old passwords?" Lucas swallowed hard, eyes filling with panic. My mom shook her head. "He was helping you. He told us you were keeping dangerous secrets. He said you needed guidance." Guidance? They drained $2.3 million and called it guidance? Lucas shouted. "You don't get it, Evelyn. I deserved a share. You weren't even using that money. You act like you're better than us." "I worked for it," I said. "Every dollar, every night, every deal. I earned all of it." But Lucas didn't stop. "You wouldn't listen. So yes, I gave Mark access. He said he could help. He said you'd never notice. I didn't know you had more money hidden." So that was it. Jealousy, greed, The two things my family always fed quietly until they grew into monsters. Mark folded his arms. And now, Evelyn, I'm giving you one last offer. Transfer the remaining funds to me, and I walk away. If you don't, he leaned in, smirking. Everyone in this room goes down with you. My dad slammed the table. How dare you threaten us? He didn't even look at him. You signed documents you didn't read. You stole funds legally tied to her business. If I leak those recordings... He shrugged. Your whole family burns. My mom gasped. Lucas went pale. My dad sat down slowly like his legs gave out. I felt my pulse rise, not from fear, but from a fire inside me that had been waiting for this moment. You really think I'm cornered? I asked. Mark smirked. Aren't you? I stepped back from the table, pulled my phone out, and opened an app only I had access to. An app that controlled everything. Their faces tightened. Mark's smirk faded. Because on my screen, numbers were moving. Fast. Huge numbers. I looked straight at Mark. You shouldn't have come here tonight. He stiffened. What did you do? I lifted the phone so everyone could see the transfer logs updating in real time. I just activated the final part of the trap.
Mark's face drained of color, and before anyone could react, the app flashed one last message, so brutal, so final. Account lockdown complete. Target funds seized. And when Mark realized what it meant, he lunged at me. The moment Mark lunged, I didn't flinch. Instead, my mom's hand froze in midair, my dad's mouth hung open, and Lucas stumbled backward like a guilty child caught in a lie. The person who grabbed my arm wasn't helping me. They were trying to stop me from pressing the final button. I looked down and saw my younger cousin Emma, eyes wide with fear, whispering, "Evelyn, what are you doing?" I smiled softly, what I should have done years ago. Then I tapped the last confirmation. Every single dollar in my hidden accounts was secured, frozen, untouchable. The restaurant went silent. The air was thick with disbelief. My parents' proud, smug faces crumpled into horror as they realized that $2.3 million they stole, plus everything else, was now fully under my control. Mark stepped back, stunned. Lucas's knees hit the floor as he mumbled, You were rich all along?" I nodded. Yes, all along. I could see the regret in my mother's eyes, the shame in my father's. Every laugh they had thrown at me, every insult, every "you'll never succeed" moment, it all shattered in that instant. I stood tall, calm, victorious. You thought you owned me, you thought you controlled me, but the truth is, I was always the one holding the keys to our future. Mark swallowed hard, realizing there was nothing he could do. The family who mocked, betrayed, and underestimated me finally had to face reality. Evelyn, the underdog they laughed at, had risen above them all. And in that room, amidst their silence and panic, I finally felt it, pure, unapologetic triumph. I walked out of that restaurant, my head high, knowing that not only had I claimed my money, but I had also claimed respect, power, and the satisfaction of watching the very people who doubted me confront their own failures. From that day on, I wasn't just Evelyn, the quiet daughter. They knew me as Evelyn, the unstoppable force they had never seen coming. And for the first time in my life, I didn't need anyone's approval. I had my success, my revenge, and my freedom all at once.